Petty revenge on my lying, cheating, soon-to-be ex-wife. Hey, true story. I've been married for 21 years. Woo. Of course, ups and downs occurred, but I thought this would be forever. Just found out that all of my boys are not mine. Ooh. All three are not mine. How freaking frustrating is that? My soon-to-be ex-wife has the nerve to be threatening offing herself if I don't keep the family together. The youngest boy is 17. The other two, they're grown. And we are all devastated. They all cried and told me they didn't want to part ways with me. And I told them I will always be their father. According to my soon-to-be ex-wife, their biological father has passed away. After we used the 23andMe ancestry test, it was clear that I wasn't their father. So we all got the DNA test done. I indeed am not their biological father. Hit me like a ton of bricks. I thought something was wrong with the ancestry test, but we confirmed everything. All these years have been a complete lie. I just had to know. So my soon-to-be ex-wife begged and pleaded, wanting to know what she could do to keep our family together. I made a list of things, and I had no intention on forgiving her or staying married. I said, tell me who he is and why you cheated. Write me a 10-page letter stating why you are sorry. She actually did it. Change the oil in a truck. YouTube or whoever can give you a step-by-step guide, or just figure it out. Our neighbor ended up helping her. She's a woman and a mechanic as well. Do all the housework, including cutting the grass. She did that for weeks. And I told her I'd consider it. So the guy she cheated on me with is someone she worked with. She carried on an affair with him for years. I was asking what was I doing wrong, and she said absolutely nothing. I was perfect and it just happened. I'm not going to write the letter or even scan it, but in it, she spent a lot of time talking about how perfect I was and how any woman would be lucky to have me. So why cheat then? Why feel as if you need another man? Guys, this goes to show that being perfect isn't enough. Or she was lying, which wouldn't surprise me at all. I did postpone some visits to my lawyer, which postponed hearings to make her think I was going to forgive her. I didn't. I allowed her to do everything I told her to do, plus she did more. But I am continuing with the divorce. I don't care who thinks I'm an a-hole for doing that. I need some revenge. Look, what I've been through, I put 2 of my boys through college, and I'm about to put the youngest through trade school. They are mine, but they are not biologically mine. If I would have known when they were younger, more than likely, I would have bailed. I'm going to be honest. Maybe I wouldn't have worked as hard and made as much money as I had. Or maybe I would have, and I'd be loaded now. I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'd rather not be their father or be in their lives right now. These are my boys, and I love them, and I wouldn't trade them. But I'm being honest with myself. There was a recent incident where she was actually hospitalized because she tried offing herself a bottle of pills when she discovered that I was going through with the divorce. She even tried to have our youngest son try to convince me that I should keep the family together. None of my boys are on her side, not one of them. They really don't want anything to do with her. I know, but I know they are upset now. I understand that, and I explained that to them. But I did tell them at the end of the day, that is your mother, and you should respect her as your mother. She betrayed us all. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, she is still your mother. But I do understand why my kids today don't want to speak to her. She tries to reach out, and the only one that would respond is the youngest. My middle son, he is all about this red pill content. I asked him if he knew anything about your channel. He didn't know, but he told me a bunch of other channels and he watches a lot of stuff on TikTok over on that platform. He's really all for getting the divorce, making sure his mother doesn't take me to the cleaners and all types of things like that. My oldest son is sad about it. He's sad that the divorce is happening. And he said that this all happened, but he understands that I need to divorce his mom. He did ask me, though, is it possible that I can forgive her? I told him no. I told him I don't need to stay with her. I can forgive her. That doesn't mean I need to remain married to her, though. I'm going to walk away. I was hurt at first, but I had to realize that my boys, they aren't going anywhere. I raised these boys. They're my boys. I still have my family. I don't need a wife to have a family. And he understood. Now, what I found very surprising on top of all of this was that my own mother thought I was wrong for filing for divorce. She said, "We are a very lovely family. Everyone has always looked up to us, my younger siblings and cousins, and things like that. We were a great representation of what a great family is, so my mom thinks that I should have stayed married and I should not be filing for divorce, even though my boys are grown. It'll still be breaking up the family and it looks bad," she said. I said, "Mom, she lied about me being the father to my boys." My mom said, "You are their father, no matter what. That DNA test, that doesn't mean anything." I said, "Mom, I love you, but I'm divorcing her. Why would I stay with the lying woman? What's the point? Your grandkids aren't going anywhere. Your grandkids will still have Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't care if she shows up anyway, and if I'm there also. I'm not going to be there by her side. She's not going to be there as my wife, and I'm not going to be there as her husband. You have to understand. But frankly, I don't care if you don't. I'm going to divorce her." One thing I find interesting as well is that our entire marriage, my wife never showed any signs of her cheating. I don't know how she was so good at hiding it. We didn't go long without being intimate or anything like that. There will be some weeks here and there where we went for a whole week, but never all the time. Our entire marriage. We both are in pretty good shape. So even now we have a healthy, intimate life, or had one. I really would like to figure out the mental space she was in. Why did you truly feel like you needed to have two different men? But she carried on an affair with this guy for years. Years she was sleeping with this other man. And I had no idea. Apparently this man was never married. He and my wife didn't know if he was the father of the kids or if I was. My wife assumed that I was. She was getting it from both of us, unprotected, at the same exact time. And I guess in her head, she was just wishing that they were mine. But none of them are. That guy, that's the actual biological father, he passed away due to a drug overdose. Apparently, it was accidental. My ex-wife coming home crying about it. I remember that day. I'm thinking this is a colleague of hers, and I was sad about it because this colleague he actually would speak about. He was like the funny guy at work. They're like family at work. All the time my wife was sleeping with this man. She had an entire relationship with this man. Her and I both attended the funeral. Apparently, he was hanging out with some old friends from college and took a hit of something and didn't know it was laced with some type of drug, and he didn't make it. Several people at the party actually were hospitalized as well, but he was the only one that didn't make it. It is unfortunate. I don't necessarily hate the guy. He knew my wife was married. So of course, back then, if I would have found out about this, I probably would have gone to the job and beat him up. What happened to him, I'm not crying about it, but that is unfortunate. My lawyer told me that it is possible to sue my soon-to-be ex-wife, but at present, paternity fraud, lying about someone being the father of a child, is not a crime in the United States. Wow. Ain't that messed up? It is possible to sue my soon-to-be ex-wife for child support payments on the grounds of fraud, but these are difficult cases to win. I'm not sure if I'd even want to battle that out with the potential of losing in the end. My lawyer didn't seem very confident and basically told me without telling me to cut my losses. True story, I'm sure I'll keep you up to date on everything. Don't forget about me. Russ.